Hello Instagrammers and YouTubers alike, and welcome back to Retro Direction. This is Michael, and thanks for stopping by. This is my YouTube channel for retro video game reviews for Sony PlayStation and Sega Saturn mainly, but there will be other systems that I'll be looking at very shortly. Anyway, as promised in my last review, I will be reviewing Shinobi X for you. So we had Sega's Big Three last time. We had Virtua Fighter 2, Sega Rally, and Virtua Cop 2. But this time we're going to be looking at Shinobi X, which is another very well-loved franchise. Now, this is the UK version that I'm reviewing, but it came out in 1995 in Japan, and it was called Shin Shinobi Den. And it's also available in the States, and it's called Shinobi Legions. But it is the same game. Now, for the UK version, there is one change, and it's the music. They actually changed it. So it's slightly different compared to the Japanese version. It's still very much Oriental themed, so it is a very nice music soundtrack. But let's say on with the show. Now, what I haven't done is I haven't gone to the FMV at the beginning, but I'll leave you to have that as a surprise in case you haven't played the game for yourselves yet. Because believe it or not, there are certain retro gamers out there that haven't played certain games. So it's still kind of, you know, a nice surprise, and it's still something new. Anyway, first things first, watch this. Hey, here he comes. Shinobi himself. Now, the graphics use digitized actors as the main sprites. Very much like Mortal Kombat. Now, first of all, when it was first announced, they were saying very impressive 3D backdrops or backgrounds. It says that on the back of the box too, but it's not really 3D. Now, the backgrounds are photorealistic. Now, first of all, Shinobi's moves. Very interesting. Now, compared to the earlier versions, he doesn't use his shuriken as much now. I think the main weapon of choice is a sword, so you can swing it. Now, if you keep pressing the buttons, you do combination attacks. You've got to keep pressing it. It's not really a smooth thing, but it's good enough. And you can do a moving slash. You can do a forward roll. And a stab. And you can also block if you hold X, Y, or Z. No, it's Y. Y and Z. X doesn't do anything. But anyway, and you can do things like if somebody throws a shuriken at you, you can bat it back. There you go. That's quite a nice touch, really. And then you can do a somersault slash, or you can let loose a barrage of shurikens. So even the enemy sprites are all real actors. Now, it's quite messy, the game. As you can see, when you slash somebody with your sword, you get a nice spurt of blood, complete with sound effects, and you slice the enemy in half. Go away. Like so. You can hit background objects. Now, you can pick up power-ups as you go along. The yellow ones and the red ones replenish your HP. Now, for the purposes, I always say this, I know, I actually kind of like it. For the purposes of the review, I have infinite health, which I've used with my action replay cartridge. Oh, by the way, now these orbs are life orbs. With every 10 that you collect, you get an extra life. Now, the photorealistic backgrounds are as follows. You can't see it very well here, but in the background there, you've got Mount Fuji on the left there. And the animation is actually very smooth. Now, the game is actually challenging. It's not overly frustrating, but it is very challenging. And a lot of the challenge comes mostly from the platforming. Now, there's one level in particular towards the end that's really, really tricky. It's set high up in the mountains. It's a very attractive level, but bloody hell, you've got to really be fast on your fingers there. And there you go. You see the Tokyo there. Was that Tokyo? Lit up at night time? Yeah. Oh, you can also do this. Look, watch this. Shut up. Stay down. Oh, he's gone. Plonker. You can do a jumping downward stab. Like that. Brilliant. So there are quite a few moves actually at his disposal. It's not too bad at all. And there you have it. And that's basically Shinobi in a nutshell. Now, of course, at the end of each level, you face up against different bosses. Now, here's a very interesting power-up. I quite like this one. Now, he's got a very powerful samurai at his disposal. Now, all you got to do is slash, and this samurai appears, and any enemy that comes into contact with it dies. Now, it lasts for as long as you don't get hit too much. The more you get hit, it'll eventually disappear. But if you try and block and avoid, I just picked up a yellow power up there. Watch this. There you go. He jumps into it and he dies. Now, that power up I've picked up is a thunder dragon. It's like a smart bomb. I'll use it at the end of this level because we will reach the boss, and you'll see exactly what I mean. It does a fair amount of damage. It can take up a quarter of a boss's life bar. Up your bum. Now I've lost the samurai because I kept getting hit, but that doesn't matter. So if somebody's on a rooftop and you're below, you activate that samurai and it kills them if they're above you. Now, of course, when you slash things like wooden boxes and these stone lanterns here, or anything that contains power-ups, you have to be careful because there's one of these power-ups that isn't very friendly, and I believe it's this one. No, it's not this one. Well, you'll see what I mean. It's a bomb. If you hang around too much, it'll blow you to bits. Now, you can also slash these trees and it reveals power-ups. Now, first of all, it's very easy to play. It is a very playable game. It hasn't... There you go. That's a bomb. So, if you jump out of the way, it won't blow up and hit you. Now, this is one of the ones that replenishes your health. Some of it, anyway. The red ones replenish your whole health bar. Yeah, you see, so you sort of move away from those. So yeah, with every 10 of the blue orbs you get your extra life. So we'll keep looking for those. And we're on to the next part of the level now, that's leading up to the boss. And here is the boss. Right, now, he's not too hard. When his eyes glow red, stand between the two fires here, don't let the fires get you. I'm taking it for granted because I've got the infinite health cheat on, but I'll show you that power up for the thunder dragons. Hang on, take a bit more life off. Now watch this. There you go. Now that's done with X. There you go. So that takes up, well, at least as far as this boss is concerned, it's half of an energy bar, so it's not too bad. It's quite powerful. Now, between each stage, you get a little bit of FNV, which drives the story forward. So I'll just let you have a look at a little bit of it, just not to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played the game. But basically, he's rescuing a damsel in distress. So there's lots of fight scenes, and if you're a fan of 80s and 90s ninja movies, this thing will appeal to you. Anyway, let's move on to stage 2, just to give you a quick glimpse of what it's like. Now, the stages are quite diverse, this one being one of the nicer looking ones. And the enemies are very diverse for a change. Of course, you get your standard ninjas, dressed in grey clothes, and red ones and green ones as well, dark green ones. You get greenish style, I think. Yeah, so basically these are your foot soldiers. Yes, and some of the branches break. I mean, there are lots of little neat touches. I remember when this was reviewed, there were mixed reviews. There were quite a few reviews saying how bad it was and how it wasn't any different or how it didn't add anything new. But the thing is, with Shinobi games in particular, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it has had a few things added to it. For a start, you've got a different graphical style. And the graphics are nice because they are very smooth. And don't underestimate 2D. Sometimes it can be more effective and more attractive looking than anything 3D. And here's another interesting power-up. Now this one grants you a kind of invincibility. I think you've got 8 different shields, I think. So if you get hit 8 times, you lose that. With every hit that you take, it nullifies one of your layers. Of course, you get the arrows telling you where to go. They say, piss off, Shinobi. No, I'm joking. That's one of my really bad jokes. There we go. Up to the next level. Now, you know what I was disappointed in? When I first bought this, I was disappointed in a tiny little thing. After playing Shinobi 3 extensively, which I really love that game, Shinobi 3 has got a flying kick. I expected the same move to be here, as well as his sword slashes, but there aren't any. So I thought, oh, there's no flying kick, because that was quite a powerful move. But other than that, now watch this. There you see, that killed him. And the third and last part of this level, where you fight a mini-boss, which he's coming up right now. So let's show you this guy. Now, because you've got that samurai power-up, he's easy. Block these, and then slash him. There you go. It's Mount Fuji in the background. Now you've got to watch these heads. All you've got to do is just keep making a samurai. This guy will run into it, and he'll get hurt. Of course, if you don't have the samurai power-up, you'll have to slash him. There you go. So I've played the first 2 levels for you. It would be great to just carry on playing it, but then it would take the fun away from you guys if you haven't played it before. But anyway, you get a feel of what the game's actually like. Now, so my thoughts on it. Now, being a Shinobi fan, I like it. I haven't completed every Shinobi game out there. I haven't completed Revenge of Shinobi, for example, because I thought that was quite hard. But I have completed Shinobi 3. That's my favourite one. But this one is very interesting. And I'm going to pause it there. So basically, new additions. What I've shown you, basically. Of course, you've got the addition of sword slashes. You've got... you can throw shurikens anyway, but they don't do as much damage as the sword does. You've got your various power-ups, which can do quite a bit of damage. In other words, it's actually pretty good, and the graphics are very interesting. They are photorealistic. Some of the levels are more attractive than others, but it's gameplay-wise, you'll find it quite challenging. It's not sort of over-the-top difficult like Dark Souls difficulty, for example. It's not going to have you tearing your hair out. But you've got to really be careful what you do. It provides a very decent challenge, a very good challenge indeed. And I have completed the game without the Action Replay cartridge for Infinite Health. And yeah, it took me about, I think 2 or 3 hours. So it was, you know, it's quite a hefty sort of game to actually play through. But yeah, it doesn't bring an enormous amount of new stuff to it, with the exception of a few extra moves and a couple of power-ups and a different graphical style. But it's still the same old Shinobi. It does play really nicely. The main character is very smooth to control. He's very easy to control. Some of the platforming sections in later stages are a little bit difficult, and sometimes it can result in slightly cheap deaths. Not overly cheap like other games I've played, but you might think, and you really have to sort of concentrate and jump exactly at the right time and cling on to things at the right time. But other than that, it's a really, really quality game. It is one of my favorites, and that's pretty much Shinobi X in a nutshell. So if you like ninjas, you'll love this game. Anyway, so thanks for tuning in, and now the next game I'm going to review for you is a very interesting one. It's one that I like. It's called Cyber Speedway. But more on that when it comes to you. So, thanks for tuning in, and you know where you stand with retro. Ciao, ciao.